Hey, what's up YouTube? Just going to do a quick review of some new Kenetrek Mountain Guide 400 gram boots that I recently got. Actually got an archery tag for moose on the local base here in Anchorage, Alaska, and it was a October 15th to the November 15th hunt, and the Mendll boots that I typically use, the Cabela Mendll boots that I typically use, aren't the warmest boots, so I figured I better go get something else that's going to keep my feet warm since it's the middle of winter. We actually got a fresh snow the night before the hunt was supposed to start, and I looked at the forecast a couple days before and knew it was going to snow, so I figured I'd go get some new boots. Ended up getting the Kenetrek Mountain Guide 400 grams. My normal hunting boots, the Mendll boots, are not insulated, and my feet would typically get pretty cold in the September moose hunt. Some of that's just because you're sitting around, but some of that's simply because they're not insulated. You know, you're walking through water, outside of the boot freezes, gets a little cold, your feet end up getting cold, especially if you're not walking around very much. So I figured I better go buy another pair of boots with some insulation, since I don't have any boots with insulation. And I really actually wanted the Schnee's boots, but I couldn't fathom spending $500 for a boot that I didn't even try on. So I ended up going to Sportsman's Warehouse, bought these boots for $489.99, and looking online, they're rated at 5 stars. Every single person that reviewed these for Sportsman's Warehouse gave it a 5-star review. Over half the reviews said that these are the best boots that they've ever owned, and to be honest with you, I think this is probably the best boot I've ever owned as well. So, like a dumbass, I bought these a day or two before my hunt was supposed to start. I took them out for a half-mile hike a night or two before my hunt, and then I wore them the day of my hunt because there was snow on the ground and it was a little chilly morning. I ended up hiking 10 miles in these boots, and luckily for me, I didn't get any blisters on my feet. I did have one hot spot on the back of my foot, but I think that was just me being a dumbass and not tying my boots tight enough after I had walked around in them for 4 or 5 miles. So that one hot spot was all I got. Didn't actually end up getting a blister. Ended up using them for a couple of days after that, and they worked perfectly great. My feet were actually probably a little too warm. It was in the 20s, low 20s, and it was almost making my feet sweat. So definitely a good, nice insulated boot. These boots are a little snugger than the Mendll boots, and I feel like if I walked around in my Mendll boots a little too much, my foot would probably move around and probably would end up getting a blister if I walked around too much in them. In terms of the warmth of this boot, this is a 400 gram Thinsulate insulation boot, and to be honest, it's perfect. My feet have not been cold in these once. I actually just took them for a hike today. It was 10 degrees, was out for 30 minutes or so, and my feet were not cold at all. It was perfect. In terms of quality, the quality of the Kenetrek boot does seem better than the Mendll Cabela's boot. In particular, I feel like the quality of the rivets is better. It's definitely much easier to cinch them super tight on your feet. And like I said, I think that's one of the issues with the Mendl's is I can't get them tight enough around my foot, so my foot moves around a little bit. So overall, I'd have to agree with the reviews for Sportsman's Warehouse that this is probably the best boot I've ever owned. And I do hike around a ton when I hunt, so it's important to have super solid boots that aren't going to give me blisters on my feet. They're going to keep my feet warm. And like I said, 10 miles in this boot without breaking in it at all. Super dumbass move, but didn't end up getting any blisters, and honestly, it kept my feet warm. And I think I'll probably end up using this every hunting season now, even if it's in the late fall, because it gets pretty chilly. And my feet don't have the best circulation, so I do get a little chilly when I'm just sitting around for 30 minutes to an hour. So, you know, all in all, I'd recommend this boot over the Mendll's